We have Haley Gant. She is an IRA and business development specialist at Quest Trust Company. She grew up in a family of very successful real estate investors and enjoys helping others in the industry. So, Haley?
Awesome, Jamie. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. Give me 1 second. Let me get my screen shared. All right, perfect. So, guys, I have about 20 minutes to introduce you to some topics when it comes to self-directed IRAs. I will preface this with 20 minutes is definitely not enough to get all of the information that you need to be successful when investing with a self-directed IRA. But I will have several resources at the end of my presentation. This is just one of many educational presentations that we host. We host a lot of networking events and webinars, as well as free one-on-one consultations with our certified IRA specialists. So I am super excited to be here today, not only as a sponsor here with Quest and as a guest speaker on behalf of our company, but also as a co-host for this event. So Jamie and Chris, I love that I've gotten to work with you guys kind of leading up to this event, kind of showing you guys how all of this fun stuff works behind the scenes. So to all of the attendees out there, I hope that you guys all enjoy today's presentations. I know Matt Gardner starting it off on such a strong note. He made so many great points. So I hope that you guys are taking notes out there. And I hope that this is probably one of the more exciting presentations that you have seen over self-directed IRAs. So a little bit about me, just kind of before I get started. Like Jamie was saying, I actually come from a family of real estate investors. When I was in kindergarten, my parents quit their corporate jobs, went to Vegas for the weekend, and then on Monday, they started investing in real estate. That was 20 years and 1,700 houses ago. And I happen to be an only child. So I grew up around everything real estate, family dinners, coming home from like dance practice, going to properties. And my parents have actually had their self-directed IRAs at Quest since 2004. So, as I teach about self-directed IRAs and the wealth building opportunities, you might notice that I get really excited about it. And that's because I've actually seen this firsthand, not only in my life and my family's lives, but over the last 4.5 years in my time at Quest and getting to educate investors across the country about this. You can really see the change and the impact that it can have on a person's long-term wealth building and financial freedom plan, because that's why we're all here, right? That's why we are in real estate. We don't want to work a 9 to 5 until we're 70 years old. We want to have multiple streams of income. We want to pay less taxes, and we want to make more money while we do it. So having a good base knowledge about how self-directed IRAs work and the many different benefits that come along with them can make a really big difference in not only your investing career, but your family's lives as well as the people that you may work with in your network. So just a quick commercial about Quest. We are a self-directed IRA custodian based out of Houston, Texas. We do have clients pretty much all over the country, and we manage about $2 billion in assets under management. Now, as you'll kind of see on the next slide, all of that $2 billion in assets under management is all alternative assets held in retirement accounts. So things like real estate, promissory notes, private placement investments. That is really what we specialize in at Quest. And we've really developed a lot of great systems and internal education for our staff where we can really work one-on-one with our clients and build relationships with them. So we can kind of communicate the knowledge and information to you guys in a way that seems simple, in a way that makes sense, and ultimately helps you be more successful in your investments when you are self-directing your account. Quick disclaimer, we do not give tax, legal, or investment advice. We are experts and the go-to when it comes to all of your self-directed IRA questions, but please be sure that you always do your own due diligence before entering into investments and that you are consulting with the proper professionals as well. So I know we have a lot of attendees online today, and based on your skill level, how long you've been in real estate, some of you guys might be familiar with this concept of a self-directed IRA. But for a lot of people out there, for 97% of Americans out there, this might be a totally new concept to you. So to kind of start it out right here with the basics, a self-directed IRA, to be honest, is not really a specific type of retirement account. Self-directed is really just a marketing term, and the IRAs that we hold at Quest legally are exactly the same as any IRA that you have at any other custodian. The only difference is most traditional custodians, such as like Fidelity, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, they are only set up to allow you to hold publicly traded assets in your IRAs with them. They're typically going to have a financial advisor, they sell you investments, you hopefully make some sort of nominal interest rate on those IRA investments, but you don't really have full control over where your money is invested. Now at Quest, it's actually the completely opposite. So at Quest, we only hold privately held assets, things like real estate, notes, private placement investments. And when we say self-directed, that means that you, as the IRA holder, get to make 100% of the investment decisions for your IRA. So it really gives you a lot of freedom as far as what types of investments you want to hold in your IRA, who you work with, how the deals are structured. But again, kind of going back to that disclaimer, it's so important, since it is self-directed, that you are taking the proper steps to make sure that your deals are structured properly. But again, that's really where the one-on-one consultations, the education that we provide at Quest really comes in. We love linking up with groups like Chris and Jamie to, provide the best education that we can. And as you can see here, and as you've probably gathered from what I've told you so far about this, there are a lot of different benefits to holding a self-directed IRA account. It allows you to diversify your retirement portfolio. You get to have more control over where your money is invested. But one of the biggest benefits is the tax savings. So our IRAs are treated differently by the IRS than we are as an individual. Every year, as an individual, you have to file a tax return, you have to pay your taxes. However, the growth in your IRA is reported totally separately to the IRS than your own individual income each year. So depending on the type of account that you're investing with, all of your money in your IRA and all of your investments are going to grow either completely tax deferred, meaning none of it will be taxed until you go to take out your distributions later at retirement. Or if you do your investments or some of your investments in a Roth IRA or maybe a health savings account, those accounts grow completely tax-free as long as those distributions are qualified distributions. You could potentially never pay any income taxes or capital gains taxes on the growth within your IRA. So a lot of benefits here. Again, I only have 20 minutes with you guys today, so I'm going to kind of breeze over these next slides, but just be aware we do have a lot of other resources for you. Now, this slide here with the 7 different types of accounts, in our hour-long classes, we typically spend about 30 minutes on this slide alone. Now, obviously, I don't have time to do that here today, but just be aware that there are actually 7 different types of plans that can be self-directed. Some of them grow tax-deferred, some of them grow tax-free. Some of these, like the employer plans in the middle, these are great for like real estate agents who have self-employment income because they allow for much larger contribution limits. And these larger contributions are also most times tax deductible as well. So where it really comes into understanding all 7 of these types of accounts, how they work, how much money you can put in, and even how you can partner these IRA accounts together, I would definitely recommend reach out to an IRA specialist, set up a call with us. It's totally free. Usually takes about 15 to 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half based on how many questions you have. But we are here to help ask you certain questions to see if you qualify for a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA. Are you eligible to roll over your 401k yet? We can walk you through all of these different questions and kind of tailor the conversation to your personal situation to really see what your options are. And then you ultimately get to make the decision of how you can best maximize these plans. So I'm going to leave it at that for now for the types of accounts, just for time purposes today. But when you're self-directing your IRA, these are just a few of the many different investment options that you have. Again, it is 100% self-directed. You get to choose your own investments. You've got to find the deals yourself. So it allows for a lot of flexibility, but it does come with that added responsibility as well. Now, I don't have slides in here today about the things that you cannot invest in, But one golden rule that you always want to remember when you are investing with a self-directed IRA is that your IRA gets awesome tax advantages to help you save for retirement. Therefore, the IRS does not want you personally benefiting right now from your IRA investments. So you've got a lot of different investment options, but just be aware you can't really use your IRA to loan yourself money or invest into your own business. There are a few restrictions there. Again, check out some of our other classes. We can tell you more about that, or just give us a call and we'll walk you through it. But you've got a lot of different investment options. One really cool thing about it is it ultimately comes down to what is your skill set? What types of investments are you knowledgeable about? And now you can do all of these same types of investments in your IRA and really grow and compound your money completely tax deferred or tax free. But where the magic comes in is when you compound that over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Even if you're starting with a small amount, there's a lot of ways that you can grow an IRA. It's actually what I've done with my Roth IRA. I have partnered it with my mom's Roth IRA for 3 different investment properties, and it has almost tripled in value in about 3 years from literally owning 8 to 12% of investments. So you can partner IRAs together, you can grow small amounts. There's a lot of different ways that you can be creative with it. Now, how does the process work? It's pretty straightforward. The first step to self-directing your IRA is having a self-directed IRA. So give us a call. We'll help you get your account opened up. And once your IRA is open, now it is time to fund the account. Now, the reason why this box in the middle is bright lime green is because these timeframes of how quickly or how slowly your current custodian can send us those funds is very important. Now, some custodians are very quick when it comes to moving funds over, transferring or rolling over. Sometimes they can get it done in 3 to 5 business days. Sometimes, however, some custodians take 3 to 5 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer to send us those funds. So if this is something that you are actively looking to, kind of take the leap on, start self-directing your IRA, you want to be aware of these timeframes and go ahead and get the process started. That way you don't miss an investment deadline because we're still waiting for your funds to arrive from your current custodian. So I always like to touch on that there, but the processing times internally at Quest, very quick, 24 to 48 hours. We actually have 3 different transactions departments: real estate, notes, private entities, and they actually fund those specific types of investments all day long. So it allows you to have a good point of contact, not only as an IRA specialist to help you get your account established and then funded, but once you're actually ready to start doing investments, we have key specialists in those transactions departments that will actually be in charge of your file. You'll have a main point of contact to actually fund that investment for you. And it makes the process really smooth in the long run. All right, I got 7 minutes left, right on time. So saving for retirement is great, right? You want to be able to diversify your retirement portfolio, but remember that golden rule: you cannot benefit from your own IRA investments right now. But if you're looking for private lending for your deals, you can actually use other people's IRAs as private financing sources for your deals. This is what we like to call OPI, or other people's IRAs. Whenever we give this presentation in person, I always like to make the nail polish joke, but it doesn't go over as well virtually because I can't see you guys laughing. Hopefully you ladies are out there. But there's kind of 2 different sides to using self-directed IRAs. There is your IRA to build wealth for your retirement, ways to minimize taxes on your investments that you hold in your IRA. But remember those investment options, one of them was promissory notes. A lot of our clients, actually about 50%, like to use their IRAs to be completely passive private lenders. So as a real estate investor, if you're going out there and you're looking for private funding for your deals, educate yourself on how to initiate the conversation of how you could potentially use other people's IRAs as private financing sources for your deals. There's a lot of ways to do this. I mean, Quest, we have to stay very neutral. You can't exactly call us up and ask for a list of clients that are looking to use their IRAs to be private lenders. Unfortunately, we're just not able to do that. But if you build a network, if you know how to introduce the conversation, call an IRA specialist. We can walk you through the process so you're familiar with how it actually works, but know how to introduce the conversation. You, as the real estate investor, you go out, you build the rapport, you start the relationship, and then know when to bring us into the conversation. Quest is always neutral. We're never here to push someone's investment or anything like that. We are truly here to educate, be a good resource, and hopefully, if you like us, be the custodian over the IRA account once you're ready to do that deal. But kind of like Matt was saying in the presentation before this, show credibility through references, join your local RIA events. And always remember your reputation and your ethics is everything in this business. Now, a couple of things here, just a few tips whenever you are investing with a self-directed IRA is to understand the timeframes, already emphasize that a little bit. Know what needs to be submitted to the custodian to fund a deal. You can't just send us an email and say, hey, I need you to wire funds to so-and-so. I want to loan them funds. We actually need the investment documents. Give us a call, visit our website. We'll walk you through that. And, have integrity with your deals. Like I was saying, I have a short 20-minute time frame with you guys today that I get to shove all of this Quest information in your face. But this is just one of many educational opportunities that we offer. We have a YouTube channel. We post videos every single week. We live stream all of our webinars. I don't remember who it was that posted the comment in Matt's presentation, but we do actually host a virtual networking happy hour on the first and third Wednesday of every month. It's completely online through Zoom, and I actually host it myself. It's a lot of fun. Our last happy hour last week, we had about 70 investors from across the US join us. You can find all of that information on our website. And last but not least, here are a few of our just bigger events that we have coming up for this spring. I know this event is called Invested Agents. I have a feeling we have a lot of real estate agents out there watching this. We actually have a 3-hour CE course that we are hosting on February 18th. I believe that's a Wednesday, but don't take my word for it. It is on February 18th, though. If you guys want to register for this, it's a quick registration through Zoom. It's totally free, and you will learn so much more about self-directed IRAs and the many different benefits that they offer. If you want to whip out your phone and pull up that QR code, you can register for our CE course. It takes about 30 seconds through Zoom. And last but not least, we do a big online conference called QuestCon Live. This QuestCon Live coming up this April will be our private lending edition. So it's a full 2 days of online education. This is one of the very few paid events that we offer, so it does have a cost to attend, but we bring in about 20 different guest speakers from all around the country. As Chris and Jamie can probably tell you after hosting this event with them, there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes in planning this event for you guys. So just for that reason, it does have a small cost, but be sure to register for our events. Most of them are free. If you want that higher level content, be sure to get your ticket to QuestCon Live. You can find all of this information at our website, and it is really easy to get a hold of us. You can chat live with an IRA specialist at any time during our business hours at questtrust.com. You can give us a call and ask us all of your tough IRA questions at any time. And last but not least, send us an email. I have put our department email on here, IRAspecialist@questtrust.com, as well as my own personal email, haley.gant@questtrust.com. I don't do as many of the one-on-one consultations with you guys. We have about 15 other IRA specialists on our staff that can do that with you. But my main role is business development. So if anyone out there is watching this and you have your own RIA, you're interested in setting up a more in-depth webinar, reach out to me. I'm always happy to link up with people. I so much miss the in-person events. I can't wait until we get them back again. But until then, we're hosting as many online webinars and virtual happy hours as we can. And that is all that I have. It is 9:59. I think I did pretty good. Let me stop.
Yeah. Way to bullseye that. Thank you so much, Haley. So Quest has been just absolutely phenomenal in the just like what Matt said, like giving value, and that's why they've built up such a strong reputation in the at least in my niche, the real estate investing community, but just in the alternative investment community, but with investing, being able to go out there and either what I like, borrow money from Quest clients, or what they like to let their clients and show them how they can invest their funds, get a higher rate of return than what they're probably going to see out there in the stock market, or at least a more comfortable return because they feel like they have greater control. And but the education, that's really where y'all just knock it out of the park. So appreciate it. I know they're going to be Haley and some of the Quest folks will probably be in the comments. Some of the comments looks like you answered them as they were asking already. So thank you so much, Haley.